All right, guys, we're going to rock and roll on the show today. We're both back and fresh from vacation. Judah in balmy, cold, sunny. What was the temperature in Minnesota?
It was hot.
It was hot.
It's hotter than it was here.
Really?
Yeah. It was like I think it got up to 90 at one point.
90? It was definitely hotter than it was here. Judah, fresh from Minnesota. It's good to be back. You were missed, Judah. I especially enjoyed. I sincerely missed you. I also missed Liza's. What do you call? What's your nickname for Liza? Wigglebutt. Wigglebutt. Yeah. When she shakes her tail, Liza, his dog, is a rescue from Caring for Creatures.
I missed her too.
What's that?
I missed her too.
Yeah, she didn't go with you to Minnesota. She is probably the friendliest dog you will find. I mean, this is literally one of the best dogs. This is a guy that has a German Shepherd. His dog is better than my dog. He can take his dog anywhere, and she wiggles her butt when her tail wags when she sees people she likes. Liza's spoiled here often by either me or our many cast of characters that come into the studio, and she gives payment for those that spoil her by wagging her tail and showing happiness.
And whining.
And doing that high screeching noise. I won't say that's annoying. I think it annoys you more than it annoys anyone.
Well, I know it gets on your nerves, and Liza's not going to get the heat if it does. So,
give the show a like and a share anywhere you're watching. We'll get rocking and rolling here in a matter of moments. Ginny Who, welcome to the program. We love you, Ginny Who. We missed you. It's nice to be back from vacation as well. Always feel rejuvenated, I guess is the right word. A lot to cover. Look at the screen for headlines. There's an active manhunt underway right now in Charlottesville, Virginia. I will say that again. There is an active manhunt underway right now in Charlottesville, Virginia. We'll talk about that. The police have asked for help when it comes to potentially finding the alleged abductor. And it's many police departments are working in unison to find this person. We'll talk about that today. We'll talk about Tent Town. City Manager Sam Sanders has offered a statement and an action plan on Tent Town, the homeless encampment in downtown Charlottesville. If you've walked up and down the downtown mall, and I'm downtown, I'd say 6 days a week easily. Our office, is on Market Street. If you've walked up and down the downtown mall, you'll notice that they are now installing cameras on all over the mall, above the storefronts. And we have some insight into that for you, a security system, a camera system that is going to track comings and goings on the mall is being installed as we speak right now. We will talk the final months of 2023. I can't believe I'm saying this. We're less than 90 days away from 2024. That's bananas to me. We'll have some thoughts and predictions of what you can expect, the homeowner, the taxpayer, the small business owner. Vanessa Parkhill, welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us. Lynchburg, welcome to the program. Arlington, welcome to the program. McLean, welcome to the program. Short Pump, Richmond, Louisa, Greene, Orange, Crozet, Keswick, welcome to the program. Folks outside Nashville, welcome to the program. Folks in the Outer Banks, welcome to the program. Give the show a like and a share. That would mean the absolute world to us, liking and sharing the show. J-Dubs, I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Quiet on the set.
Guys, welcome to the I Love CVille show. My name is Jerry Miller. It's great to be with you after 5 days, actually 7 days of rest and relaxation. It was a enjoyable time. Yes, Vanessa, the Queen of Earlysville, we had a blast with our time off, and it's great to be back. A lot we're going to cover on the show. A city council meeting earlier this week that was, how do you characterize it? Volatile? explosive, unpredictable. I mean, people were calling in to the city council meeting clearly, well, I want to hope not from Charlottesville or Central Virginia, offering Hail Hitler proclamations on the record. The N-word was used literally by people speaking before council and directed to Councilor Leah Puryear, disgusting and deplorable. We'll cover that. We'll talk Sam Sanders and Sam Sanders' plan for Tent Town on Market Street Park. This is something that Judah wants to pontificate on a bit, and I'm always excited to hear Judah's reasoned opinion. If you haven't seen the park formerly known as Lee, the park formerly known as Emancipation Park, Freedom Park, Market Street Park, the tents are multiplying, and they're multiplying quickly. City Manager Sam Sanders, who I see often on the downtown mall, pacing the bricks, talking to colleagues, walking up and down the mall, having pizza at Vita Nova. I'm at Vita Nova for a slice once a week. He says he's got an action plan, and those plans will be shared with the community as they're established. Michael Payne, a city councilor, said, "We have Sam Sanders' back. We have no plans to let Sam Sanders go." So we'll talk about the city council meeting that was. I also want to, do well by the men and women in blue. I say on this program all the time, heroes don't wear capes. Heroes wear badges. And right now, the Albemarle County Police Department, the Charlottesville Police Department, the Greene County Police Department, the Virginia State Police, they're actively hunting a man who allegedly abducted or tried to abduct a female. We have some details we can share for you for this active manhunt. A heavy police presence in the area with those details to come. Robert Allen, I'm just getting word now that James Robert Allen, I'm literally getting word now that James Robert Allen was taken into custody, Jerry. Jerry, the police chief, is going to hold a conference at 1:30 p.m. to provide an update. Jerry, Albemarle County Police, UVA Police, Greene County Sheriff's Office, the U.S. Marshals Service, the U.S. Attorney's Office, Commonwealth's Attorney, Orange County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the Virginia State Police, all involved. I'm seeing bubbles here, more coming. I'm waiting for the bubbles to turn to words. Yep, media will be able to ask questions as well. So that's some breaking news for you right there. The manhunt is no longer active. James Robert Allen was taken into custody about 10 or 12 minutes after the 12 o'clock hour. We'll talk about that on today's show. Props to the police. Props to a multi-jurisdictional policing effort to take somebody in James Robert Allen, who was literally on the run or on the lam as of late last night, near the 800th block of Cabell Avenue. That's basically UVA right there. Off the streets and now into custody. I want to talk on today's program about Friends of Seville leading which I think is a brilliant move, an effort to install cameras up and down the downtown mall on both sides. The camera installation is literally happening now. Friends of Seville is a nonprofit, and they're pooling resources financial from a lot of business owners in downtown Charlottesville and those that are committed to improving the quality of life in Charlottesville. Friends of Seville, the nonprofit, is installing cameras, paying to install cameras up and down the downtown mall, right above the storefronts, some below the canopies of the storefronts on the downtown mall. Details on that for you, and I'll talk William & Mary and UVA, my thoughts on a contest where if it does not go UVA's way, they fall to 0-6 to start the season, and 0-6 with the loss to William & Mary, a loss to JMU, could be the low point for Tony Elliott and his team in Scott Stadium and in that locker room. First, I want to talk about everything is not always how it appears to be. We have a 2023 digital age where, sock puppet accounts, anonymous accounts can post content. And that's just the era we live in. When we post content, opinions, some of the opinions people may not like, it's always tied to who we are, tied to our name. It's never done on the DL. But things are not always how they appear to be in 2023. And I'll give you some examples. Take what happened in the June Democratic primaries with people living in this community. Let's consider Kellen Squire and Amy Laufer. Amy Laufer at one time was the chairwoman of the Albemarle Democratic Party. Laufer and Kellen Squire are running for who's going to represent the Democrats. And in this particular case, whoever represents the Democrats gets the victory because it's a very blue voting bloc. Laufer, who's a seasoned politician, seasoned doesn't necessarily mean victorious in all capacities. It means she's run a lot of races. She took something Kellen Squire said years ago. Kellen Squire's an emergency room nurse. And years ago, she took something he said in a blog post and used that language out of context, cherry picking a couple of sentences, a short paragraph from this blog post from years ago, and turned it into political mailers, which hammered voters repeatedly. You have a former leader in the Democratic Party running against another Democrat, taking something that an emergency room nurse said when it came to abortion and a woman's right to choose, out of context for the purpose of trying to win an election. Remember, everything's not always how it appears to be. Other examples. Allison Spillman, she's running for school board in the at-large seat. One of her top donors is Chris Seaman. Chris Seaman is a law school professor. He's one of her top donors. You can find this information online at vpap.org. And Chris Seaman purchases megscaliabryce.com. And then he proceeds to launch a WordPress website on the URL megscaliabryce.com, which is Allison Spillman's opponent in the at-large race for the school board. He makes a mistake, or whoever designed or developed the website for him. We don't know if it was Chris. We don't know if it was somebody that did it on behalf of Mr. Seaman. He has not spoken about this website. No media besides what we do here has covered this storyline. And when the website launches megscaliabryce.com, which is a smear campaign on candidate Bryce's first name, maiden name, and married name, namesake URL, when the word gets out that it's tied to Mr. Seaman, he immediately takes the website down and he hides it behind a WordPress login and password credentialed gateway that if you don't have this login and password, no one could see the smear campaign that he put up. He took it down because people realized it was him that was authoring and creating this website. Everything is not always how it appears to be. He wanted it to seem as if it was an anonymous website created by a political action committee or another individual or group, and it was going to be an opportunity for people from his vantage point to see the smear content that he created. He made a mistake and linked it to himself. Another example, Sally Hudson hammering Creed Dietz. Sally Hudson and Creed Dietz are both Democrats. You had Laufer and Kellen Squire with Lawford using what Squire said years ago out of context when it came to abortion and women's rights, and Sally, who used to rent from us here in the Macklin building on the second floor. It was, I believe, her first campaign headquarters. Sally hammered Creed Deeds on gun control and his history of gun reform voting. It aggravated Creed Deeds' daughter so much that she wrote an op-ed. She wrote either an op-ed or a letter to the editor of the Daily Progress, and they published it. And Creed's daughter said, what Sally is doing is not true. It's disingenuous. Everything is not always how it appears to be. That's the theme of this first segment of the show. So before we go to this political active hunt, this police, alleged abductor, and we should change the headline. So he's now in custody. If you could update the headline. We just broke some news on the program here for you guys. Before I head to that next segment or piece of topic matter, I caution everyone that watches and listens to any kind of social media, digital media, reads any kind of publication or periodical, or listens to any radio or watches any television. I caution anyone to consider all sides. To consider all sides, because everything is not always how it appears to be. In today's digital and social era, you can create a phony account, a phony social media account not tied to your name, and relentlessly publish content about people, content or messaging that you would never say to someone face to face, eyeball to eyeball. But behind a computer screen or with a phone in your hands as you tap, tap, tap a screen to get a message out there, you get a level of courage, it's called keyboard muscles, that you would never have in an in-person setting. So I offer caution to everyone about what you read, what you see, what you hear, and consider every angle on every side. Now, I want to go to our next storyline. If you could, did you update that headline for us?
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Good work, Judah Wickauer. It's nice to have you back. We've just broke some news on the program. The police, you had UVA police, you had FBI, Virginia State Police, Albemarle County Police, Charlottesville Police, Kotchis and his team leading the charge, catch a man by the name of James Robert Allen. I'm getting more information on this. He was taken into custody 10 minutes after 12 o'clock today, so within the half hour, roughly. This man, last night, at around 9:40 p.m. in the 800 block of Cabell Avenue, a 40-year-old man tried to allegedly strangle or suffocate and abduct a female. Then from last night, after trying to strangle, suffocate, and abduct a female, he had been on the lam, in the run, in the wind, around the 800 block of Cabell Avenue. The alleged suspect's vehicle crashed into trees and multiple vehicles. The female reported to the police that this man tried to abduct her. I often on this program try to champion the police. I think we should do it again. The police got the name out and a description of the alleged abductor, got his face out, got his name out, got a description out immediately. They utilized social media channels to spread the word. They indicated that this was a multi-department effort: Greene County, UVA Police, Greene County Sheriff's Office, Albemarle County Police, Charlottesville Police. Then they say that they want to give special thanks to the U.S. Marshal Service, the U.S. Attorney's Office, the Commonwealth Attorney's Office, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the Virginia State Police, along with the Albemarle County Police Department, the UVA Police Department, and the Greene County Sheriff's Office. This was legitimately like all hands on deck. We have to start highlighting what the Charlottesville Police Department has done under Chief Michael Kotchis' leadership. Since Kotchis has come in the mix, this department has done a complete 180 for where it was left with the previous regime. The previous regime had basically an empty department. A third of the force was empty or vacant or had empty seats, people not working within the department. It had maybe not the best brand at the time. The former chief was suing the city for wrongful termination. And today, we see the police department under Chief Kotchis' leadership. We see criminals being caught. We see information getting relayed to the public quickly. We see the image completely changed. You see officers going to the 10th and Page neighborhood playing basketball with youngsters that live in the 10th and Page neighborhood. You go to the Charlottesville Police Department Instagram, and Kyle Irvin has done a hell of a job with this, the communications director. And I'm literally looking at a post. I don't know if you can get this video to show where Chief Kotchis, it's the first post on the Charlottesville Police Department Instagram. Chief Kotchis is playing football with folks, with youngsters, literally throwing football, playing quarterback, playing safety, playing defensive back, playing two-hand touch in full uniform. I mean, I've been so impressed, and it's up to us to also change the narrative. I'm not one of those guys that's going to not acknowledge a change that I see, even if that change is being done by folks that some in this community don't like. I understand that some in this community are not crazy about the police. I am, though. I'm impressed with what's happening. I don't want to speak with Judah. We'll ask him his thoughts on this. Let us know if you got the Kotchis quarterback video. Kotchis playing safety. I would love to show it to the viewers and listeners. If we want a safer community, a safer Charlottesville, a safer downtown, a higher quality of life or an improved quality of life for Charlottesville, for downtown, we need to start by backing the men and women in blue. And I try to reiterate this point on the program. Even if you live in Albemarle County or Orange County or Greene County, Louisa County, Keswick, Gordonsville, Barbersville, any of the surrounding counties in Central Virginia, whether you want to admit this or not, your home values, your county's image is tied to Charlottesville directly. You leave Central Virginia and you go to the Outer Banks, or you go to, let's talk about the people that are watching this program right now. I have folks watching the show in Palm Beach, in Fort Lauderdale, in Allentown, in all over Northern Virginia. I mean, the heat map is all over Nova. Richmond, Short Pup, Southwest Virginia, folks watching in Tennessee, in the Maryland area, in Georgia. If we go to any of those states for vacation or work, and we say we're from Gordonsville, Virginia, Keswick, Virginia, Albemarle, Virginia, Louisa, Virginia, Mineral, Virginia, Lake Monticello, Virginia. We say we're from Standersville, Virginia, Barbersville, Virginia, Earlysville, Virginia. The folks we're talking to will be like, what? Where is that? I've never heard of it. But you go to those places and you say, we're from Charlottesville, immediately you'll get a response. Charlottesville's turned into a national, if not global brand, whether we want to admit it or not. And the national and global brand equity of Charlottesville is still not fantastic. That's part of the reason why in Monday's city council meeting, when it was opening up for public comment, you had people zooming in or calling in that were literally using the N-word and horribly giving props to Hitler. Literally that happened on Monday. You know why that is? Because of the brand equity that is Charlottesville and our recent history of what's happened from August 11th and August 12th to now this homeless encampment in a park. For us to change that brand equity and rebuild the brand equity, the image, one of the key components of that is the police department and championing the men and women in blue and helping them realize that the community has their back, that the community sees them as heroes, that the community wants them to live within the community that they serve. When the police department has quality of life, confidence in itself, self-esteem, realizes the community is behind it, their performance is more positive and impactful when it comes to quality of life for its citizens. We've seen since Mike Kochis, the George Clooney of policing, since he's taken over this embattled department, empty department, he's done a 180 with the image, a 180 with the communication, a 180 with the recruitment of officers, a 180 with how the community perceives it. He did it through walk and talks. You got that video?
Yep. Football?
Yeah, could you play that? Mm-hmm. Fantastic work, Judah. Tell us when that's shows. It's on screen. Look at the screen now. Thank you, Judah. Excellent work. I mean, is this not wholesome? Kochis playing football.
Oh no!
This looks like I'm trying to figure out which public housing
Come on, come back!
complex this is.
Go, go, go!
This may be. Is that formerly Friendship Court? Is that Garrett Square? Is that what that looks like to you, Judah?
Let's see. I have to take a look again.
That looks like downtown Charlottesville there.
I can't tell.
It looks like, play it again if you could. Tell me you don't like that. Let's make the police department feel like it.
Oh no!
He's doing a great job. Give him props.
Come on, come back!
When we give, it's like sports, man. Some of my best coaches in sports, I grew up playing sports. My brother and I grew up playing sports all our life. The best coaches that we ever had are the coaches that were able to instill incredible levels of self-esteem and confidence into my brother and I, my friends and I. When you get coaching, and in this analogy, the community is coaching the police department. When the community can show the department that we back you, we believe in you, we have confidence in you,